Live on Twitch again. Oh. So I guess the guy that was watching wasn't me. Oh, I'm live on YouTube according to this thing. YouTube.com. Let's see. How do I even see this? My channel. YouTube Studio. The hell is this? Alright. Oh, so I am live after all. I got one viewer on Twitch. What's up, viewer? Say something in the comments. And I guess I'm live on YouTube too. So I'm gonna try the chat thing real quick. Hey. Okay, so my YouTube chat went on. I'm gonna try my Twitch chat. Twitch, hey. Alright. And then if I do it on YouTube, same thing. YouTube, hey. Interesting. So this is actually working. Cool. All right. So I guess now what can I do? I guess what I can do is maybe go back to the widget. This is Michael Jackson. I can give it the maybe apply some CSS to it. Yeah, I don't know what these classes are called and all that shit. Oh, yes they are. Alright, so it is kind of cool that I can add CSS to this stuff. If you're on YouTube watching this, I am sorry that I brought you into this, and I feel sorry for what you're about to witness, but you're basically going to see a dude online that has no idea what the hell he's doing, trying to set up this live stream stuff so that I can do some coding on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. That's what I'm trying to set up, and I'm looking at everywhere in this huge screen, but only a little part of the screen is actually being screen captured, which is this thing here, which I'm not using. So yeah, I am sorry. I guess I can try the camera switch, see if that still works from when I set it up earlier. But something I would appreciate that if you just somehow landed on this live stream that's not talking about anything, but it's just trying to, I'm just trying to set it up. But one thing I would appreciate is if you comment, regardless of you are the one dude that's watching on Twitch or the one dude or gal that's watching on YouTube. I just kind of want to see if they actually show up on the screen. They should be showing up somewhere around here. And then the camera switch will be like, wait, that didn't work. No, it did work. All right, so that is both screen only and camera only. Ooh, still has that wrong logo that's not supposed to be there. So let's remove this guy. Yep, sure want to remove it. But come on, whoever you are, either the person on Twitch or the person on YouTube, leave a comment if you have nothing better to do. Yeah, my Switch, they work fine. It's pretty cool. Cut, 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 cut. It's 2 people on YouTube now. Hey, second person on YouTube. Third person, there's 3 people now. What's up, guys? I am trying to set up this live stream thing to actually work like from my computer and be able to share my screen and just trying to get all that stuff together so maybe I can start doing some actual code stuff on my channel. Yeah, right now what I'm doing is trying to set up Twitch and YouTube to work together at the same time. So if you guys can comment whether you're watching on Twitch or watching on YouTube, if you can just comment anything at all, that would be cool. I just want to see if it shows up in the screen. I think it should be. Nope, people don't want to comment, I guess, which is cool. I'm not really expecting anybody to be watching this as I'm messing around trying to get this stuff together. Don't you want that? All right, now there's some music. All right, let's try to get this chat thing working. What the hell? They all look like crap. If I do always show messages and I come in here and then say, I want to see what happens when this is like actually full of messages. Alright. And I feel like that kind of looks like shit though. Alright, so they stay on the screen until they like... Wait, what? They don't stay on the screen. Oh, it's because I gotta save the settings, I guess. So moderator badges, so subscriber badges, show Twitch Prime badges, show bits badges. Alright, so now they always show. So I can just turn the chat on and off here. Let me make sure it's still working on YouTube. All right. On YouTube, it is so why doesn't it show up? So that's not working. Alright, how do I chat? Alright, so hold this. Alright, so they are showing right here. Alright, so hold this. Alright, so they are showing right here. Alright, so hold this. Alright, so they are showing right here. Alright, so hold this. Alright, so they are showing. Alright. Right here. Alright, so hold this. Alright, so they are showing. Alright. Right. Alright. Again, I should probably start with the first coding thing here, just so I can make a point so that I don't have to be explaining it to everybody. But let's take that and let's say I think this is kind of what you do. Let's just do a div with an h1. It says just here trying YouTube and Twitch streaming for the first time, testing it. so that in the future I can actually do real live streams. All right, and for the people that are watching, for whatever reason you are, let me know if like the mechanical keyboard is like annoying, like like the noise of the keys, because I think it's fine, but I would also like to know if that annoys people. Alright, I'm gonna copy that because I'm probably not even gonna do it here. I guess I could do edit HTML. I could remove that, and then probably do another div right under it, and do style. How do you do inline style? I kind of forgot, to be honest, like in the HTML way. Let's go this div. I think I can just do width. Let's do high. 1000 pixels. And I think that should work. That works. Hey, I still know HTML, guys. After all. Let's do something else here. Let's do another style tag. I guess I don't have to do style tag. I can just come here and do that. And do like a font size. Let's do like 200 pixels. No, that's too much. 80 pixels. Then let's do line height. All right, so now I have something in the screen, so I don't have to tell you guys what I'm doing every time. For all of you guys that keep coming in and out, probably are really confused to what the hell is going on. But now you know. And the comments stay on the screen, which is cool. But I'm gonna come here, maybe make them disappear like after. Seconds. Nah, that's fine. What happens if I get these boxes? The boxes are not too bad. I'm like that. Hell no. Hell no. Let's think. Nah. So Swimsuit Clean is the best one so far. Maybe I come and mess with the. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna take that in here because I don't think there's anything that I can show. In here. All right, so again, I see that a bunch of other people just connected. So this is what I'm doing in case you just stumble across this. You can read it right here. Right now I'm trying to set up the chat bots that you see in this area around here. So as you can see here, they have like different styles. They have clean, they have a freaking stupid thing that only works sometimes. Refresh the stupid page. It's like the third time that it just stops working for whatever reason. But I can do like bots. See how they show up in bots, or at least they're supposed to show up like that. If I can hear him hit save, no, the comments are in bots, which makes it a little bit better to read, I guess. Just to change the color of the bots. Doesn't look like it. Alright, so what I'm gonna try to do maybe is come here and maybe try this HTML CSS thing. If I can make it look nicer somehow. It's just so trash. It's literally like overlaying on top of each other. Alright, so if I were to have it in boxes, what would I want to do? Alright, so maybe this text, that like the name. I don't like the way that looks. I feel like that's all. Nah, you know what? It's kind of fine. Do not like the boxes though. So how do I solve that? The one thing I can do. Let's maybe make it shorter. I think. Yeah. You know what? The whole reason why I was thinking about changing this bots thing here is because I thought that like when I actually start doing stuff live, maybe having these bots is here for the comments. Well, I see that there's like at least 4 people watching right now. So can one of you please comment and tell me how this bots looks like in the actual live stream? That would be cool. Does it look pixelated and stuff, or does it look okay? Now I'm talking about the chat box. Oh hell yeah! Somebody finally coming. Kelvin Davis said it's gonna be me in a few weeks. Tweaking things for the future live stream. What are you trying to achieve in terms of the chat bots? So, alright. So this is what I was trying to do. I'm using this thing from Streamlabs.com, and the freaking thing sucks. Like, this is supposed to be showing me one of these 2 types of chats, but it's like overlaying on top of one another or whatever. But anyways, I was basically trying to figure out what's like the best way to show chats in a live stream. And at the beginning I was thinking like I don't want this black stuff like in the background, but I do kind of like that it makes the chat easier to read, I think. However, I was worried that when I actually start doing live streams, which is pretty much my hope is, at least at the beginning, to just do like very, very basic coding tutorials and things like that live. Just trying to get people interested in code. So mostly targeting people that are like very, very new to writing code and things like that. So I thought that even though the chat are easier to read with the black bots, maybe like it takes too much space out of the screen for when I'm actually doing stuff and trying to, you know, do a tutorial or something. But I think at the end, as long as it's not like pixelated and stuff, I think it's fine. Does it get in the way of you writing code? Exactly, it doesn't really get on the way of me writing code. Well, I don't know. Well, actually, that's exactly the thing. I don't know if it will or not. But since I don't know, I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. It looks a little bit, I don't know, gamey or whatever. But yeah, it's fine. I guess I'm just gonna leave it like that until I actually start having problems with it. Then I come back and tweak it, if I do. Because kind of like you just brought it to my attention, I don't even have a clear idea on exactly what I want. Yo, that kind of makes sense. So you know what, let's probably try to do that. Let's do like a Visual Studio Code window, just to kind of see how that will work. Let me just open some random here. Yeah, so like kind of like over here, he kind of runs into that maybe, but I guess I can always come here and maybe make it a little smaller. Yeah, but I probably want to make it big enough so that you can see it on a cell phone maybe. Maybe around there is fine. Let's see, what are you saying? You have to put up an IDE and try it first. Yeah, don't know until you try it. The plus though, you won't be looking at a separate screen to see comments. Oh, you're gonna be fine, fam. Yeah, it looks like I'm probably gonna be fine. Thank you for your input, Kevin Davis. So you said you were gonna start streaming yourself in a few weeks or in some time. What are you gonna be streaming? Just curious. Cool. Yeah, man. Shout out to Cutting Face. It's kind of crazy, man. He just kind of came in here and kind of built like a community. It's pretty cool. But one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make like the width a little. I'm gonna make it a little more narrow. And maybe taller, yeah. So I'm gonna make it fatter in that way, I guess. But then I'm gonna make it more narrow. And I'm still talking about the chat. So I see your comment about business. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to change something here. So let's make it like 400 instead of 700. Ooh, I think I broke something. What the hell? Now there's no comments. Why did that happen? I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to get the comments back so I can actually read the comment you left. I think I had 700 here before he broke. Alright, I don't know what happened. I'm gonna just start it over, I guess. 400. Put it right there. And then go back to the website. Where is it? Right here. I'm gonna take it off the screen so that I can get my key again. I guess I could have done that regardless. Go back to browser. All widgets. Man, this website's buggy. All right, so I broke the chat. So I guess I'm gonna have to go into the actual Facebook thing to see it. All right, so let's see if I can make it pop out chat. All right, so I actually had to go into the Facebook website and stuff to get the actual chat from there because I wanted to see what you were saying, and I broke. I freaking broke it somehow. I broke the live stream chat already. But you said one of the OGs from Coding Phase, by the way, no stranger here. All right, this is what we were talking about. My stream will be more about business. I have a business degree and have consulted people. I just want to take it to the next level. Help people become entrepreneurs through coding, through changing my mindset and so on. All right. Cool, man. That sounds interesting. So I'm assuming, based on what you said there, that you're basically somebody that's into business and stuff, and also into technology. Like, I'm assuming you're a business person and a developer at the same time. Man, this is some BS. How is this crap just gonna break on me? I guess let me comment this CSS. Alright, so that's it. It literally just freaking stopped working. Like it isn't even anything that I did. This is some BS. Alright, copy. Alright, so learning the 2 yes. Learn code through Yo from Coding Phase. And then I'm working on how to basically create my own platform with my skill. Yeah, that one showed. I guess this freaking fits now. Like, oh man, that's kind of annoying. That sounds, looks like this thing is gonna be unreliable as hell. Cause I didn't even do nothing. It just broke and then started working again. But going back to your comment about, alright, I'm just gonna type stuff, see what happens. Here goes nothing. We'll learn code through coding phase, and then I'm working on how to basically create my own platform with my skill. So so that's cool, man. The fact that, you know, you learn how to code, and it sounds like you were self-taught, and just kind of use coding phase content for teaching yourself how to code, which is really cool, man. That's kind of similar how I also learned how to code, except that coding phase, Joe didn't have like his content out then, so I wasn't like learning from him. While I was learning, his content was a lot more about more kind of like career advice and things like that, not necessarily like the technical stuff. But the technical stuff, I basically learned them through a combination of a lot of online things and even some actual real books and things like that. So you have you actually worked as a developer, like as an employee, or like as a part of a team or something, or just went straight from like knowing nothing to teaching yourself to building your own platform straight up without like anything in the middle? Yeah, I was a fan of Yo when he spoke about the realities of coding and put it in a real perspective. Yeah, man, that was. Yep, that's kind of what I used to do also. Alright, so I need to fix this chat because that looks like shit right now. So give me 1 second and then I get back to your guys' comments. So maybe I should make the font tiny bit smaller. So let's try 22. Alright, so that's cool. Let's try the boxes thing again. Alright, hell yeah. So that looks a lot nicer, I think. And then when I use it with the actual yeah, it's like enough to the right now, the chat bots, that it doesn't interfere too much with whatever is on my actual screen for the code. Alright, cool. So now I can actually maybe go back and read your comments. Alright, learn from coding phase, then I'm working on basically creating my own platform. Seems to be coming out from where, who knows. My boy, what's good, man? ITECNS. Yeah, I was a fan of Joe when he spoke about the realities of coding and put it into real perspective. Yeah, I worked as an employee. I worked the back end, main in PHP and Laravel. But my business consulting allows me to work from home, especially with what's going on, and I think now is the time to launch my Shadowhand business with the courses and the whole thing. That looks good. Yeah, I think that looks pretty decent right now. Now, kind of wish the background was a bit darker. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go here and edit some custom CSS. Sorry, you can see it on the screen because I'm doing it on a different part of the screen. So RGBA works. How does RGBA works? The last number, I forgot. RGBA CSS. I forgot the scale of the last number. Oh, it's just from 0 to 1. Yep, this is the type of dumb shit I be forgetting. But I'm modifying the CSS to see if I can give it like a little bit of a background. 0.5. And it's gone. Oh my god, you just broke it again, I guess. Let me remove the CSS I just added and see if that's what broke it somehow. Alright, so where's YouTube chat? Sorry that I'm typing that. Alright, so that showed up. Wait, I wonder something. So let me add back the CSS that I just added and try it again. Alright, so that make the whole window thing disappear. But now if I hell yeah, so it seems to work again. Except that CSS has been ignored. Anyways, I'm gonna go back and modify the CSS. Here, I think I can share this on the screen. Oh no, this. Oh, shit, yeah, I can probably do this on the screen. CSS 101. Alright, so what I want to do maybe is look at this guy. Plug div, background linear. You just want to make the whole thing like darker. So I'm gonna make this. What happens if I make this like 0? No, what the hell? I'm gonna make this like 0.8. He was 0.6. Make it 0.8. Make it 0.9999. A lot darker. So I'm just gonna make this a 1. Alright. So I'm gonna look for this linear background in the CSS and change that. In this thing here. Enable CSS, Control F. Well, it's not gonna say 1 now. What? Interesting. Now the comments are supposed to stay up, I guess, forever, but I think your question just probably made me realize the whole thing that's going on with them disappearing and stuff. Yeah, I think that kind of makes sense. So basically what I think is happening is the comments are supposed to stay in there, but basically this whole thing that you see here, like where the comments are, this is just like a browser window. The OBS is literally just as a URL, and it's just a browser window. But I think that anytime I make any changes to it, it like, you know, refreshes that whatever is shown on that browser window. And I just feel like anytime the browser window view is like unmounted, then all the comments just kind of get removed and you have to start over. I think when I make changes, it just like start over and basically deletes anything that's showing up. But yeah, so you see this window right here that I'm looking at on my screen, the one that I was modifying, that I was messing with the CSS over here. It was looking like this, and then I made it 1 to make it a little bit darker. But basically this stuff that you see here, this is basically the chat. And well, I'm not supposed to be showing this, so that's supposed to be private. Oh shit. I guess I'll recreate a new one. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I'm not supposed to be showing that on a live, so. But anyways, I'm trying to modify this to make this like the black look darker, so it doesn't like mix in with the background as much as it is right now. So, you know, I want to make the black here look darker so it doesn't mix with the background as much. But this is the CSS that I get to modify, and doesn't look to me like like they have the gradient in here. It feels like this is kind of like a base, and then this stuff just goes on top. But I think that's fine. Maybe all I have to do is see what class that is. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna copy this class name. And I'm gonna add it to the end here. And then I'm just gonna copy whatever they have for background here. There you go. See if that works. Background Did that work? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. All right, so it's white now, so I'm gonna go into the chat myself. If I can freaking find it and say something. See if he shows up. Why is this shit no longer working? So, freaking worked. Definitely worked. Alright. Alright, so hacking this thing worked. That makes me happy. I'm just gonna make it a 1, 2, just gonna get rid of all the transparency altogether. Yep, Kelvin, it did show up. So Kelvin, so do you currently work as a developer, or you did that for a period of time and now you're just trying to focus on your other thing, or you're kind of doing both at once? I'm also like trying to run a business, but you know, I still have my full-time employment as a developer. So I'm just curious, like, if you're in the same boat or if you just kind of like quit your job. Hell yeah. All right. Yep. So I got rid of all the transparency. So now all the comments should be crispy and should be nice, and they should show up without problem, even on a black background. And they do. Hell yeah. Yep. We got it to work. We got it to work. They show up, and these bots around the chat is not transparent anymore, and I like that. All right, I did it for a period of time and got out of it. The reason was because my previous profession made more money and was more active. Yeah, that is something that's definitely like the only thing that you could possibly, if you try really hard, I guess say it's a bad thing about this career as a software developer. The fact that you know, it's not the more active thing. You are sitting on a chair at an office for most of the day, and yeah, so if you like to be out and about and you don't like to be that person that like sits down and just wants to absolutely focus on solving the problem at hand, that could be not the best feeling at times. I did it for a period of time and got out of it. The reason was because my previous profession made more money and was more active. What I like to call a knife figure is still a tool and others could use it, but I'm more of a teacher than an employee, if that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Me personally, I kind of feel that way sometimes too, that I kind of like want to be out and about and not like, you know, enclosed in a deep work pace without interruptions all the time. But the reason why I also find, like, having being part of a software development team, or having a job, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, technically it doesn't have to be a job. For the point I'm gonna make, like, it could be like, I don't know, a startup or something, that you're building with like a team of people that know more than you. It's just kind of like the learning benefits of that. That is something that even when I think like, damn, I kind of just want to jump and just work on my other business full time, because I could be so much more productive if I just did that instead of doing my everyday job. That the business would advance a lot faster than with me having to, do my day job at the same time. But with me not having like decades of experience as a developer, kind of want to keep that job, mainly for that, to kind of like keep developing my skills as an actual base technician or craftsman of software. Ryan Sam, will you do a portfolio review? Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. I can definitely do that. So, I've been here for a few hours now in this live stream, and something that's crazy. Something that's crazy, in my opinion. It's that I was just like setting it up when I started, and now, this guy just asked me, can I do a portfolio review? I'm assuming he wants me to look at his, like, web developer portfolio, or his developer portfolio in general. And I just thought, like, oh, I actually am kind of set up. We figured out how to do Twitch and how to do YouTube at the same time. That was kind of like the main thing today. Yesterday I was messing with OBS, downloaded it for the first time last night. And then today I wanted to see if I could do Twitch and YouTube at the same time. That's working. And then I spent a lot of time trying to get these chat bots here. The chat bots to the right of my cursor working. But that's working now, so that's cool. Yeah, so I can go ahead and do your portfolio review like you said. Can you comment the link, Ryan Sam, and I'll look at it live and give you my honest thoughts about it. As long as you promise to be okay with me giving my honest thoughts. And I just want to say that before I see it. I don't know, it might be great, it might not be great. Wait, you won't let me post a link. Let me trick the chat. All right, cool. All right, let's see what the other guys are saying. What's the guy's name? Who's this guy? Theorect. Anyways, he said, how long have you been programming? Or how long are you programming? I don't know what this question means. If you're asking like how long am I programming, like right now, I wasn't really programming. I mean, I did do a little CSS here to get the chat that you see at the right of that you see right over me, to get the chat bots to work. But now that that's working, I just kind of wanted to set up the live stream so that then I can actually start maybe start programming on here. And if you're asking how long have I been programming in general, if that's what you actually mean with your question, Um, professionally, I think I have like professionally I will have 3 years. Yeah, I will have been getting paid for 3 years to code full time. Um, here soon in a month or two. Um, but before that, I taught myself for a few years. The first few years, I was not taking it serious enough, so I wasn't making like enough progress to actually go and get a job. But then there was a period of like 8 months where it was like nothing. Well, there was other stuff, but basically the main focus in my whole life was learning how to code so that I could go out and get a job and get out of poverty and things like that. So I did that for 8 months after like doing it for years, but not making any real progress. You know, I was doing it like 1 week, like on a weekend, and then I wouldn't come back to it till like the next weekend. And by the time I came back to it the next weekend, I already have forgotten everything that I learned the past weekend. So I had to like learn those little things again. You know, it just wasn't like a enough hustle and enough effort put into it to actually like, you know, change my life, which is what I wanted to do. But then I made some changes in my life, made like learning to code my number one priority, and in about like 8 months after that was when I was actually able to like actually make some progress enough to the point where I was able to get a job. Would you do a portfolio review? How long have you been programming? That's the power of life, man. Yeah. Ryan Sam went. Even let me post a link. Let me check the chat. Ryan Sam said, be it as rude as possible. He said, be as rude as possible. What kind of mic are you using, Omar? So the microphone that I am using is a AKG P2020. That's what it looks like. And here, while I wait for the guy to send it to trick the chat into sending a link so that we can do his portfolio review, I can look up the mic for the person to ask. AKG P220. Oh, shit, it's a lot cheaper now. Hell yeah. Well, I guess hell no, since I already paid for it. When I bought it, it was like $200. A little, maybe even a little over. But it's exactly this guy here. Now, I had this for years and years, as some of you guys know. Like before I kind of decided to like become a software web developer, I was like working regular jobs, and then I was trying to be a music producer for a while. So I had this mic since when I used to like when I produce music and make beats, and then I used to record people. Had like a little studio type of thing. Yeah, so I had that mic since then, and yeah, that's why I have this mic that's like totally freaking overkill for this. I mean, you can like record music with this. But yeah, since I already own it, that's what I have. I think I talked a little bit about that in my last video where I was kind of showing like my computer setup and things like that. Alright, so let's go back to the chat. Be as rude as possible. What kind of mic are you using? Just send the link, but I don't think YouTube will let me post it, so I will send it to you on LinkedIn. Kelvin says, this kind of motivates me to get my OBS set up this week. Hello, Omar. Hi, chat. What's up, One Godless? You know what? I'm gonna make this screen, this chat Well, let me read everything first. Underdog, sub Omar. What languages do you know at the time you got your first job? Your first job. Um. All right. So answering these questions in order. So yes, that's fine. I'm right after I answer these other questions, I'm gonna go look to my LinkedIn so that I can actually see your portfolio and we can look at it live. That's cool. Then the other question: what languages do you know at the time you got your first job? Basically, I don't know how in depth I went into the actual story on YouTube, but basically, I knew HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So now, like, how much did I know of each? So HTML, I knew. I don't know. It's HTML. I knew like how to work with divs, a little bit about forms. You know, like I knew like divs, H1s, paragraphs, like all that basic type of stuff. A little bit about forms and input fields and things like that. Now CSS, that's where I was the strongest one, the strongest at, because that's where I spent the most time. Well, not the most time, but I spent a lot of time teaching myself like CSS, and I learned CSS through Treehouse, and I think they do a great job of kind of explaining it and going into more detail than like anything else that I have seen. So I knew a lot of CSS, and then I kind of knew JavaScript. So I understood how vanilla JavaScript worked, and I was able to like write programs that worked. The main problem was that I never worked on a team. I never worked at a company. All the JavaScript that I know was from like doing like tutorials online and things like that, which teaches you like how the programming language works, kind of, like, but it doesn't teach you like how let me tell you this example. Oh, let me tell you a perfect example of this. Like, it doesn't tell you. My first company that I worked at, just that division here, this is basically the website that I was working at on when I got my first job. And this, okay, whatever. So this is Kroger. This is like the biggest supermarket chain probably in the whole world. They might not be super famous in whatever state you live in, but that is because they basically own every supermarket that's not named Walmart. But they just have different names, and then they just own them all. But anyways, I work for this company, and just like for this website, there was probably like 800 people that worked on it. So how do you work with so many people? Like, that's like one example. How do you actually like use coding like in an actual environment, like in an actual work environment? I didn't know none of those things, and I didn't know like React, which is like the main thing that they use for all of this, React.js. I didn't know React, but I was supposed to know it, and this is what I mean by that. So basically, this is what happened. I started networking, and by me showing what I was building at home without like any like mentors or anything like that, just like me in the internet, I made some connections, and I was really into the networking thing, because really everywhere you look, that's like the number one, the most important thing you need to do to be able to get a job. So I put my all into it, and I was living in Dayton, Ohio, which is north from here, a little over an hour, and I would go to every meetup that was like anywhere close. It could be like literally in Kentucky, which is a whole different state. It could be in Columbus, Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio. It wouldn't matter. Like if there was a meetup happening, I would save up money for gas so that I could attend it, and I would go to it, and I would just so I can build these relationships. And then I was able to to meet people and show them like what I was working on. And then I met a person that was working with like helping this company get more developers, because they are like in a really tight competition with Amazon and Walmart. So they're like competing to get talent and and basically build like a bigger team that can make more things and more features and all that stuff when it comes to like online ordering food and all that, which is even it's going even crazier with this whole virus thing going on recently. But anyways, so I made that connection, and he told me basically that he was gonna keep an eye out for me, and he told me like, hey, like this place, like they are willing to take like juniors, and they are willing to like help you get that first job so that you can get some experience. But you are like, so I believe that you can get to that level, to the where you can start there as a junior, but you're not quite there yet. You need to learn Java, because they use Java in the back end mostly, and then you need to learn React.js for the front end, and that's just like starting out. That's like not even including everything. So they told me again I needed to learn Java and I needed to learn React before I even like had a chance to like start at this place. But they told me that they were gonna keep an eye out for me, and and basically he gave me a lot of confidence that as long as I learned what I had to learn, I was gonna be able to get an opportunity there. And so that was great, except that he had somebody that like I said, he's like helping this company get people, and he had somebody that was supposed to, so I had how do I do this? Okay, I don't want to go too long into it, so I'm trying to kind of like summarize it real quick. But basically, I showed him what I was building and stuff, and then we set up a meeting where we like sat down and coded together. The guy that's like a more experienced developer that was helping these people get more people, and after he saw what I can do, he told me like that I basically like needed to learn a lot more stuff before I was able to actually get a job here. But and that was like on a Friday, I believe, or a Thursday, something like that. I think it was a Friday. But anyways, like the next Monday, then he calls me and tells me like, hey, somebody that I had set up to go and start here next Monday, a week from today, they were coming here from a different state or something, and something happened in their personal life, and they're not gonna be able to actually come and start working, and they still want me to help them fill the position, like for like a junior person. Are you willing to like start? And I was like, oh hell yeah, like I was literally running to like my last dollars. So he was like, yeah, I'm doing it. Like if he I know I needed to learn all of this stuff before I even had a chance to even start here, so I'm like way behind what I'm supposed to be. But if they offer the opportunity, and I said like, yeah, I'll do it. So then basically I was kind of like going through this thing where like I didn't get the job there, but I kind of got like a trial period in which like if I was good, I was gonna get an offer eventually, like and if I wasn't good, they were gonna let me go. So it was kind of like a 6 months trial period, and again I had to move to this city that I live at now, so I had to like leave my old city in order to get the job. But I, I moved and I got an apartment. I was super scared, like shit, like I'm signing a lease and all this stuff. Like I hope this doesn't bite me in the ass. If worse comes to worse, I'm just gonna have to deliver pizza again or something around here. But it worked out, and I ended up actually learning Java and learning React, and ended up like being a productive member of the team eventually. And then they actually offered me a real job, full-time job with benefits and everything, and then I was able to actually work there. So yeah, I hope that answers your question well about what languages and what I knew and what I didn't know when I got my first job. And then the other question, with this whole bug thing, are you working remote? Yup, 100%. It's kind of, it's cool, but it's also kind of like, feels like I'm in this room all day, every day, from Sunday to Sunday. Background music overpowers what he's saying. Thank you very much for saying that. That is exactly the type of stuff I need more people to do here. Give feedback. So now I will lower the music a lot more. So does it sound okay now? Does the share read phony? No, it's Fire Department of New York City or whatever. Yeah. I thought it was like NYFD. I don't know. I was born in freaking New York, and I guess I should know that by heart. See, I saw it yesterday, Wills. Where are you from, Omar? I'm Dominican, and even though I was born in New York, I lived in the Dominican Republic for most of my growing up. So that's why I got the real thick accent. Is there a good balance between background music and like my voice now? I know somebody complained about that, which I appreciate, because this is exactly what I'm trying to do today. Get all those technicalities figured out. Um, all right, so I'm gonna turn that up just a little bit more because he said too low now, but okay, I guess. um, what are your thoughts on Coding Phase, and have you ever taken courses from Coding Phase? So no, I have not taken courses from Coding Phase, even though Coding Phase is like my brother, man. Um, the reason I haven't taken courses from Coding Phase is because I started watching his channel when he like started up, like from the very beginning. I don't even think he had 1,000 subscribers when I saw his first video. Um, and actually, I think there's no way he had 1,000 subscribers when I saw his first video about like development and stuff. So when he first started making videos, he was kind of more like my videos on my channel, where they're more kind of like about like the career and getting started. Like, yes, this is possible. Yes, you can do it. Um, which was huge for me. Like it was huge. That's why I think it like I don't want to say like I wouldn't be a developer if it wasn't for Cutting Face, because I was like 100% determined to do it even before I found his videos. But because I was like 100% determined to do it, and I was like trying to soak myself into the industry, so I was like trying to research it in every way I can, including YouTube. That's how I came across some of his videos, so like at the very, very beginning. And the fact that he was like wearing like a snapback or something, and he was like not like a, you know, like the nerd with the glasses, like um I think the fact that he looked more kind of like a regular guy that's not like a super nerd, you know, but even then he was still able to like be a developer and code and get paid for it and do it professionally and still be a craftsman. I think that was huge towards showing me like it was possible for me to do it also. Um, yeah, so he didn't have any courses or anything like that when I was first starting out. Um, yeah, so that's why I haven't done like his courses. Let me see. I think the link should already be in your LinkedIn. All right. Cool, man. Cool, Calvin. All right, I'm about to go look at it then. Ryan, Sam, go. I'm about to go look at your portfolio and see what you do. Calvin Davis says, I taking Coding Face courses and they are legit. He gives real practical way for teaching you how to code. Also, they are the cheapest you will find anywhere. There was one. Do you build niche sites? If you can, do you build niche sites? And if you can, so can you direct us there to start building niche? Thanks. I don't know exactly what you mean, Devastator Warner. Um, but what I'm thinking that you mean by a niche site is like how sometimes you have like I don't know, people build a website like parachute equipment, um, and then they have a bunch of affiliate links to like parachute equipment, and they talk about that niche, and then by them referring people to those other links, then they get paid. That's kind of what I'm assuming. I have been told about doing that a bunch of times. And thanks, Colby, man. I appreciate your help helping me troubleshoot the whole live stream thing. Have a good night, man. All right. Yeah, I've been told about doing that. I haven't really done anything like that, to be honest. No, um, I haven't. No, I'm working on like a whole app thing. But I had this idea since like way before I was even a developer, and I haven't found anything to like disqualify that idea as a valid idea. So I'm still working on that startup, and that's where I put most of my effort besides my regular day job. But you know, I heard people make money with that, and they seem pretty straightforward. It's just a website where you just have information about a product, and then you have links like top 10 blenders or whatever, and then you say why you're the master of blenders and what your opinion should be the most important opinion on the internet about blenders, and then you tell people what blenders to buy and why. Do you use HTML themes for website? uh no, I do not. I'm going on LinkedIn right now to get the portfolio link. Ryan. All right, I'm on LinkedIn right now, getting the portfolio link. All right, so I'm here on Ryan's portfolio, designed by Ryan Sam in Houston, inspired by Apple. All right, cool. Let me answer some of these other questions, then I get more in depth into this. Do you use HTML themes for websites? What's your regular job and side hustle? So my regular job is working for this company, Cloverleaf.me, and actually, well, this is where I work at. No, this is just like a landing page. So we actually work on like the actual application. Well, I worked on this sometimes. Like I build this little thing here, this navigation bar. I built that, but technically, we don't really mess with this unless like we have to for whatever reason. We usually on the actual app. This is kind of like the landing page where you go and you pay for it, and then or you create an account. Oh, ID.com, like an idiot. All right. All right, so this is the app that I work on every single day, and I hope I'm not exposing anybody's stuff. No, they're all fine with it. But yeah, basically, what is this app? Basically, what we do here is we sell this to companies, and the service that we offer to companies is that we have digital versions of personality assessments that a lot of them use, and then with a digital version, it has a huge advantage to like paper copies and things like that, because instead of getting like stored in a file somewhere, like all the information that you get about your employees after they take all these assessments, instead of it getting stored and never being used like in a regular way, like in a practical way, we actually make it so that you get information like all the time. So for example, this is like a calendar, and then this is I guess tomorrow I have a meeting with Matt, and he would tell me like a couple of things about Matt based on his personality, based on the assessment that he took. And these are kind of like some of the assessment. Disc is a very famous one that's very popular that you hear people talking about it on Instagram all the time, is Enneagram. And basically you know, you can go through here and you can kind of like read this and take the different assessments. But yeah, that's kind of like what we do in a nutshell. But I mean, there's a million things that then companies can use this information for, but mainly the biggest thing is basically to kind of like keep people happy. Usually the companies that buy from us are the companies that are like really concerned about like keeping their employees happy, and things like that, which I guess going back into a full circle, it's also kind of sad that you see that sometimes a lot of the companies that buy products like this are like, you know, like forward thinking companies, maybe like companies that are more modern, that have like in like, you know, that have like a lot of software developers or people that have like a type of skills as their employees. Unfortunately, you don't see a lot of like factories and warehouses and those type of places like hiring, like using products like this. Actually, I can give you a perfect example. Like Chick-fil-A is one of our customers because they like care about their people and all that stuff, but you don't see companies like I don't even know if I'm supposed to be naming companies specific, so I'm not gonna say that. But you don't see other companies investing on their employees like that. But companies like Chick-fil-A's and like companies that have a lot of developers that have like a good culture and like that really don't want their employees to leave. Those are the types of companies that buy our product. So that's what I do for as a day job. And then my side business that I'm working on is buyjet.com, and it's not really much in here. It's just a landing page because I'm still working on it and I'm gonna be working on it for a while. But basically, what we want to do is like, I'm just gonna give you like the shortest description possible. If you own a restaurant and you know nothing, like maybe you are like a immigrant family from like a very humble background that just came into the US and doesn't know much about technology and all that, literally all you have to go is coming here into buyjet.com, and then you literally just make an account like the same way that you would make like a Facebook account or something like that for your restaurant, and then within minutes you literally will be able to like to sell your food online, to allow people to order online. Like you will have like your own website that people can go to your website and order food directly from there. If you want to, you'll be able to integrate it with DoorDash and things like that. But basically, it's kind of like the whole goal is to like all the technology that you see big companies like Papa John's and Domino's Pizza and like TGI Fridays, all these companies have like compared to like like the little Mexican restaurant at the corner, they have like a great advantage when it comes to technology. Basically, what I'm working on my app is like basically getting rid of that. Like, no, like you could be a small restaurant and you could leverage technology in all the same ways. Yeah, so that takes a great deal of time. Hope that answers your question. What's your regular job and side hustles? No, I didn't. I kind of answered the same exact question earlier, so I'm sorry. I don't want to give you the long answer again because it took me a minute. But I would say like I was like on and off doing it like only on the weekends, like or like every other weekend, like not taking it super serious. Sometimes I would go like 2 weeks without messing with it, and then I would mess with it for like 3 days straight, and then go a whole week again without messing with code. And in that time, I was probably in that phase for like a year and a half, 2 years, and never really made any progress. Like literally every time I started to like mess with code, I would be learning the same stuff that I literally just learned the week before because I already forgot it. But then there was a period of like 8 months where like learning code was my first priority and nothing else mattered as much. And during those 8 months, I was able to go like I basically started all over from like zero. Now it was a little easier because at least I had seen some of the stuff before, but I started from zero and took it super seriously, and then I was able to start getting paid for it. Yo, Serial Media, do you know Python? Why am I getting non-type error problem and my professor won't email me back? I'm sorry, man. I have done very, very few things with Python. I would just tell you, basically you could just assume that I never touched it. I had technically touched it for some like AWS things, but I don't know any Python. I don't know how you even declare a variable in Python. Like I would have to like Google that, even though I think it's pretty easy. But yeah, I don't know any Python, I'm sorry. All right, so let's go back to this guy's portfolio. Are you still here? Ryan Sam, sorry. All right, so I'm not answering more questions until I actually go through his portfolio. So designed by Apple, cool. So when I try to scroll, it just comes in from the middle. Okay, scroll, 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 scroll. 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 All right, now I can read it. All right, so since I'm being like, I probably wouldn't think of this if I was just looking at the website, but since like you're asking me to like be like critical of it, and like, you know, and I'm like literally going out of my way to be super critical, I would say the first thing, I kind of like this effect. It shows that you know how to like mess with the DOM, and it shows that you know, like, you know, that it's not just like a scroll down type of website. So I kind of like that it shows that at least you know how to do things like that. Personally, as a user though, what I don't like is that like, I think you need to have a like scale, so like every time you scroll, it just like, so basically it gets bigger a lot faster. Like I think, so right now I'm at the top, I'm scrolling a tiny bit, you can, I literally couldn't see it at this point. Like now I know, because I know it's there barely right here, but before at this point I couldn't even see that there was a thing coming. I think that as soon as I start scrolling, like the first little scroll thing that I do, it should already be like big in here. So it just feels like I have to scroll forever before it gets to a place where I can read it. I think it should be like a scroll like one, twice, and then it's already a full size. Okay, so I move the scroll wheel like one, two, and then it should be full size. That's what I would expect. But again, I'm being overly critical, and I think if I was like looking to hire you, that would be one thing that I would look at. I would at least be thinking like, okay, like clearly this guy at least knows some front end and knows how to mess with the DOM. I don't really think of myself as a software engineer. I consider myself in general terms like engineer, a computer science engineer, because it's not just software I'm engineer, but other things like full-fledged designs with thought in every color, or dumb sequence that makes shift register to count to 255 binary computer scientists, because I look heavy in code for them to execute. But many other professors wouldn't call me anything because I didn't go to college. But I'm out in the serious time, but for the past 2 years, I say hours a day, all I can show this hours. I can show you some of the highlights for the things we build. You see, you gotta learn from those experiences. Recruiters, developers, or engineers that see this portfolio, I hope that you see me as a future as a GC. I'm software and computers, and if you have an open position in this field, I would love to work with you. All right, so I think this is definitely really long, but I like everything I read here. Like I do, and I kind of get your point. It's what a lot of companies want. Like I know, for example, if my boss was reading this, I think he would probably like this. And I said my boss because he's the one that makes, like, obviously my develop my team lead and my manager. He's the one that makes those decisions, and I think he would really like the fact that you're basically selling yourself more like as a problem solver, not really like, oh, I know how to write code and I know how to change the background color of a website, but it's more kind of like, man, like I just like solving problems, period. It just so happens that in today's world, the most common way to solve problems is is by writing code and writing software. Like literally, software is the most powerful tool in the world right now. So it looks like you're aware of that, and that's why you write code. But in general, you just like to solve problems, and I think that's kind of cool. And I think the fact that you know that you're using the terms like an engineer and computer scientist and all that stuff, I think that's really cool, because those are usually the people that have to do a lot of deep work, and those are the harder people to find. Usually you see a lot of people that want to be developers, but really all they want to do is just write HTML and CSS and have no idea about how to program anything. um, with like an actual programming. So this is the stuff that actually gets you paid, like being an actual programmer, not necessarily just the fact that you're writing code. Because again, HTML and CSS, technically that's code because you're writing code, but is that really programming? Absolutely not. At least in most times. Oh, it's still freaking going. Yeah, man. So okay. So another thing that I don't like, again, since I'm being overly critical, is I don't like all this stuff. I personally don't like the fact that you say inspired by Apple, and to me personally, this looks nothing like Apple. You got like a whole rainbow thing kind of going on. Come on, man. Like that doesn't look great. But again, I honestly would not hold this against you if I was trying to hire you, because the stuff that I'm kind of complaining about would be the stuff that as a software engineer you probably will have no control over. Like, you know, like if you could be the best software engineer and you could come out with experience like this, where it literally takes forever to scroll to the point that you can read something. But at the end of the day, that shouldn't be your job. That should be the job of the UX designer or somebody like that. Like if you're the software person, the software engineer, software developer, you don't, you're not a designer. So I'm not gonna be hiring you to do the design. I'm gonna hire you to write the logic and things like that. So even though I really don't like how the design looks with all the colors and all that stuff, I wouldn't hold that against you if I see that you can actually code stuff. Feature project, lip foam view. So one thing that I can tell you right here that I'm a little bit kind of confused myself. It says feature project. It doesn't say what you did on it. Maybe I'm assuming that maybe you just build it all yourself since it is in your portfolio. But as somebody that actually has helped my manager like look through resumes and stuff like that in the past, I wish there was something that told me what you actually did in this project, because for most people that you go to resumes, a lot of the times they're like in college and things like that. So a lot of the times they probably never even built something like completely 100% on their own. Usually they did it with like a team of classmates and things like that. So it would be cool to have like a little thing maybe here on the side before I jump to the next one that tells me like what you actually did on this project and maybe what were some of the challenges and what was what kind of like a just some information about what you did. But I'm assuming that you basically did it all from the ground up. A great way to view your song albums and playlists. Is something missing? Just search it up using the Lipton search. All right, so I am not logging in because you're a dude on the internet at the end of the day. But I mean, I'm like 99% sure that it's safe, but I'm not putting my information in it. But to me, it seems like it's basically like if you already have a Spotify, but for whatever reason you don't like using their app to see your playlist, you could see them through here. So I'm assuming what you do is that you're using OAuth to connect to their API and get all that stuff, which is cool, man. That's cool, man. I'm just gonna tell you this right now. So far, that's I know that I actually didn't log in and use it, but it seems like it works. And that's more impressive than what most interns in an actual university are showing us when they're trying to apply for internships. Um, okay, so this is exactly kind of what I was. Now this description is kind of long. Like if I was at work, like if I wasn't just at home chilling with, not minding the time like I am right now. Oh shit, it is 11. I need to start minding the time because I need to wake up early. Um, but if I was at work and I was like just going through a bunch of resumes and stuff like that, I would probably not read all of this. I would just probably glance over it. Um, so find a way in which you can say all of these in like this much instead of this much. However, seems cool. You'll be like, calendar, I really don't want to read all this, but I want to see what the hell is special about it though. Okay, so this sounds almost a little too technical. It almost sounds like you just wanted to throw like to sound technical. But honestly, like, what the hell does React has to do with you being able to reduce the complexity of your function? Um, React is like a front end thing. Well, to me, it just sounds like the fact that you learn React had absolutely nothing to do with you being able to reduce the complexity. I just think the fact that you kept learning code, it just happens to be React. But even if it would have been more Java that you kept learning, or any, you know, just the fact that you kept learning about how computers work, uh, allow you to reduce the complexity, not the fact that you learn React, because React is a front end thing. In my experience, I also want to share the function. Yeah. Anyways, this is too long for me to read, but I'm assuming you build a calendar in which you can schedule PTO. Cool. I'm not a designer, but I make designs. Cool. Wouldn't really care about that if I'm hiring you to be a developer. Why the hell do I care about this? You shouldn't be designing for me. You should be making the designs that the designers are making. You know, the professional designers that are building the UI. That, and again, I'm gonna be overly critical and rude, like you asked me to be. But like, there's a bunch of colors. You got like a whole rainbow thing. It takes forever to this thing to show up. So trust me, like if I was hiring you as a designer, like, to be honest, I would not be impressed at all. But if I was hiring as a developer, I would be impressed, because you know you're using different effects. Again, you're not just scrolling down after the things comes up, then you scroll down, and it's almost kind of like, that goes, it's almost like this is in its own other page. Then you're using parallaxing effects here, which are super cool. Again, you're doing parallax here again. So as a developer, then this is awesome, dude. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, as a developer, this is awesome, because I'm thinking like, damn, if I actually get a good designer that actually knows how to design, that's not doing rainbow things, and actually has good design, that has designs that look like this, like What the hell? Why am I not logged in? Okay. So I do like a US design. All right. So if my company has like a, if I'm gonna hire you to be a developer, then I'm gonna have a designer that's gonna build things like this that actually look nice and that were made by a professional designer. So even though I really don't like the design and all the colors and all that stuff about your portfolio, I really like the development side of things, like the technical side of things, the parallaxing effects, all that stuff, because now I know that you have the skills that when my designer gives you something like this, a picture that looks like this, and tell you, okay, now I need you to go back and make that into code. When I hire you and tell you to go and make that into code, then you're gonna have the skills to actually do it, even if I am not super impressed with your design skills. See, and now look, now it's scrolling to the right. See, this, like, all the stuff is freaking awesome. Like, again, I don't love the way it looks, but again, I am not gonna hire you for the way that it looks. I'm gonna hire you because you know the actual code and the programming. So now I know that if I had to build some weird, crazy UI where sometimes it scrolls down to the bottom regularly, sometimes it scrolls to the side, sometimes there's a parallaxing effect, sometimes it comes out from the middle out of nowhere. Like, now I know that you can do that. So me personally, like, I spent a lot of time doing the same types of stuff when I was like first learning how to code, and that's why I said I spent so much time doing CSS. Like I was talking earlier, when I was learning, I spent so much time. But at the end of the day, CSS, a lot of times people don't care about it that much. So for example, to tell you the truth, like how you did, oh shit, okay, it froze on me for a second. But like the fact that you make this come out of the middle, have I done things like that in the past? Yes. Do I remember how to do this stuff right now? Honestly, I don't even remember. Like, if I had to do this same effect, I'm 100% confident that I could achieve it, but I would probably have to Google it, just like a lot of things. Just like earlier, I literally had to YouTube how to use RGBA because I forgot what was the scale of the fourth number of an RGBA. This looks nice. You use Adobe HD to build that? Okay, cool. Don't really care about that because I'm hiring you to be a developer, not a designer. Unless I work for a crappy company where I want you to do everything. Because trust me, I'm not saying a small company, I'm saying a crappy company. Because even with my company that I show you guys today, this one, like if I were to hire a developer, I would hire them to be developers, not to be designers, and then I hire designers to be designers. It has nothing to do with the size of the company. It has everything to do with the fact of whether they know what the hell they're doing or not. So I have a friend that, for example, works in a really outdated industry, the radio industry. In every time they hire a developer, it had like the website developer is also the person that does like the photo shoots and does like the video editing and does like website design and does all this stuff. And these are like, a job is a job, so if that's all you can get, go ahead and do it, but that's not where you're gonna that's not where you're gonna boost your career. That's not where you're gonna have a good career. So again, I see all your Adobe HD stuff, cool. I could care less because honestly, none of this, for example, I'm gonna use my company as an example. None of these designs, look, you can even compare this to what our actual designer, that's a full-time designer, can do. I mean, I showed you the website earlier. Is it still open? like our stuff looks nice and clean and blah blah blah. So all of this stuff is kind of like, I don't think it looks great, but I don't care at all. I still think this is great because if I'm looking for a developer, you have shown me that you know how to develop some things, at least in the front end so far. Now, what I think would really like make your resume, your portfolio being like, I gotta hire this guy right now. The only thing that I don't see, and maybe I'm missing it, and if I'm missing it, I'm sorry. Maybe that should give you a hint. If you have it here and I'm just not seeing it, maybe you make it a little more visible. Is that you have all this talk about being a computer scientist, being an engineer, necessarily like a, you know. So if you're like a computer scientist and you're like really into the, like the real deep stuff, I think it would be great if you have some type of project about like, I don't know, like maybe even like a machine learning thing where all you're doing is like using a machine learning library, or I don't know, something like more backend, more like data and database involved things, maybe, like maybe have an app here that has like a MySQL database and all that stuff. It seems like a lot of the projects that I see here, like this one, it seems like it's mostly front end connecting to an API. In obviously you didn't build the API because the API would be Spotify. And this one also seems like a mostly front end thing too. It could be wrong. Let's see. I could be wrong. Let's go look at the actual GitHub. All right, SRC. You have components. All right, so this is definitely like a client. Does this have a backend? Maybe it does. I don't see it. I do like the fact that you have it published to NPM and everything. That's really cool. I never posted anything to NPM, so the fact that you have and I haven't already make me feel like this guy's just ahead of me, at least when it comes to that. All right, man, cool. But yeah, I don't see anything that's like back-end heavy. That's the only thing I kind of wish I saw. And that's the thing that a lot of times you do see from people, from universities. A lot of the times they're doing like back-end heavy stuff, like machine learning, or at least something that connects to databases and all that stuff. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so these are the only two apps that I see besides like the design work stuff. And they don't see backend heavy, but again, it seems like you at least know a lot of front end. Again, I don't love your design, and I'm sorry. I hope I'm not pissing you off by saying that, but I told you I was gonna be honest. I don't like any of the design work you have in here, but I do like the actual work that you're gonna be doing as a developer. Again, for design stuff, we have designers. For developers, we want developers. So I think this is cool, man. So, I guess I can read a little more about you here. So you say you're in Houston. All right. So are you currently, what do you do currently? All right, I need to get caught up with the chat, and I'm sorry, I was reading all this stuff. You still work at Cloverleaf? Yeah, I still work at Cloverleaf. Look at the iPhone 11 launch page. Is the Spotify API? You can look at the link. Right, Sam. Yes, the time complexity has nothing to do with React. However, React did shorten my code base. Alright, that's cool. Love from Uganda a few months ago. I knew nothing. After watching you, I have the same situation you had. Warehouse. I went hard learning. Now I know HTML, CSS, Grid, JavaScript. I'm on Node. Hell yeah, man. If you're on Node, you're almost there, man. Shit. I mean, if you know Node and you're good at it, then you never had experience. I might be even be able to. I wouldn't be able to get you like a job. Be just that, but I might even be able to help you get an internship or something. All right, Ryan Sam, I have been living on my grandma's for 2 years. All right, so um, all right, so I guess what I'm asking is like, I have no idea like um about your age, about what you're doing, job or anything. All right, so you have no job. Are you in a situation where you could live like your grandma's if you, or are you like, oh man, I'm going bold. Oh man, I just found out I'm going bold on live. Damn it, man. No job, 21. All right. So it seems like you're young, man. I don't know what's your situation with your grandma. I don't know if you're in a situation where you're like taking care of her or what. But definitely you're young. You I wish I knew half of what you know when I was 21. Um yeah. Shit, my bad. No, I can, and she might try to kick me out. You can't what? Um, you can't what? I'm sorry. Oh, afford to live on your own. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but what I'm saying is like, if you were, um, like to get a job, and then, like, would you be able to live away from your grand? Would you be able to move away from your grandma's? And the reason I ask that is because sometimes maybe you're living with your grandma, but you know, maybe there's a situation in which she needs you to be there to help her with stuff or something like that. Um, but yeah, because like for example, um, from my company, obviously everything has changed because nobody knows anything now that this whole virus thing is going around. But for example, at my company, I would probably think that you have all the skills necessary to at least be an intern. Uh, the only things we would probably want to see a little bit more of is like doing a little more database stuff, like I said, more backend stuff. But again, I definitely wouldn't think that you would be able to like go and get a job like at a, you know, like as a, like as a software engineer. Um, I don't think you'd be able to do that yet. But I think you are definitely able to start an internship and something that can pay you, and it might not pay you like like $60,000 like like an actual developer job would pay at the beginning. Like when you're actually like not an intern. But I think you could probably get an internship somewhere and make like more than you would probably make like I don't know, whatever job you probably had, like a supermarket or something. A job where that a lot of people in their 20s have. if that makes sense. So, if you're thinking about like going to like working at the supermarket on the street, or the restaurant as a waiter, I think you might be able to get a job as an intern that might pay like 15 an hour or something like that, which again it's not like a, again, like a developer salary, um, but it could be like a stepping stone, and then you can build, after that, then after you get some experience actually working in a team, and in doing that, then you might be able to negotiate a 50K, a 55K, 65, 70K, after that. Yeah, man. So I guess just some advice is like, when I see a lot of people, that I feel old now because I feel like I was 21 just yesterday. Um, but when I see a lot of people living with their parents and stuff, they're always like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to get out of here. I'm just trying to get out of here." Like, getting out of there should not be like the focus. Like, the focus is jump starting your career. Now, if your career requires you to get out of there to make a jump, then do that. Um, but most people have it great with their parents. A lot of people can live at their parents, or in your grandma with this case, and still be able to have like a room where they have their own computer and stuff. And if you have all that, man, like you're set, bro. You're set. Like, you if you have your own room and you have your own desk with your own computer, that's all you can ask for. I was a grown ass man learning all of this, and I was, you can say, almost in the same situation, because even though I was not living with any parents or anything like that, I was living with a roommate. So it was still kind of like the same situation, like in my room, learning my stuff on my own, or in the basement, because my roommate never used the basement in the house that we were renting together. So that's where I used to go and just be in there for hours learning stuff. I'm trying so hard to move and start my own life. Can you give me a next step after Node? Cause I still fear to jump into a JS framework. Well, she wants me to move out. Alright, if she wants you to move out, that's cool, man. Then yeah, that's why. Definitely appreciate all she has done for me, but it's time to go by now. Yeah, man. I think you're cool to get an apprenticeship. Shit, man. If whenever this whole situation clear out, if we're taking apprentices or interns, I um I might even give your resume to my manager and see what he might do with it. Um, Again, it's not gonna be like a developer salary for an internship, but it should definitely be enough for you to always like get a little apartment, and pay your rent, and pay and be able to afford at least at least get by until you keep building up. Can you give me a next step after Node? Because I still fear to jump into a JS framework. Man, I don't know. React JS? I wouldn't fear it, man. Like, if you're doing stuff with Node, your JavaScript is like way more advanced than my JavaScript was when I started into React. And I was able to pick up React fairly quick, I guess you could say. What's up, Ruben? Ryan Sam, I can work with databases. I know JS. I know Node.js, Go, and C++. Sure, man. That's what's up, man. That's all you need, bro. You can definitely get it. If your portfolio shows me that you know all the front end, even though the design I personally think kind of sucks. But again, we're not hiring you for the design, we're hiring you for the development work, like I said a million times. And on top of that, you know how to use databases and backend languages, then you're all set. Like, that's all you need to start an internship. Then you go do an internship for 6 months, um, and then you're gonna get a job. Like, that's just the way it works. Julius, I live in a third world country. I am not expecting to get any job here. I just want to build things. Um, don't know what to tell you, man. If you want to build things, then I would probably learn Node.js and then just do database stuff, which you're probably already doing, like MySQL and things like that. But I mean, the cool thing about you want to make stuff. I'm sorry. If you want to make stuff, that's literally what React frameworks are there for, to make it easier to build stuff. I know because I kind of understand how you feel, because I was just in that situation like less than 3 years ago, or about 3 years ago. And it seems like, oh, React, like React, that just sounds so advanced. React, that sounds like freaking like chemistry, like I don't know. But at the same time, the whole point of frameworks is to make it easier, so that when you design one thing, now that's a component. Now, anywhere that you want to use that in your whole app, you literally just put that component there, and you don't have to like copy and paste and do all this crap. Like, it makes it so much easier when you have a framework. Like, yes, it's a little bit of a learning curve, but I just don't see it realistic. I don't even think it's like it's humanly possible to do stuff with like HTML and CSS, and then like, you know, add your JavaScript like you would do like for a tutorial. But realistically speaking, like, it's almost near like impossible. Like you probably have the same chance making it into like the I don't know, whatever sports you play, the major league of that. If it's soccer, like, you probably have a better chance of like being a professional soccer player than you have to build like a whole modern application like without using a framework, because it's just so much harder. Like, that's just so much CSS and so much HTML and all that stuff that you have to write. Like, I don't even think it's realistic. What am I doing now in terms of work? So as I was discussing earlier, we were talking about it. You see here. I work for Cloverleaf. That me. Yeah, it's the app I work on every day, and it's an app that it's all web based. Again, it's an app where our customers are companies, and basically they have their employees take assessments in here, and then based on those assessments, we can basically make the employees' life a lot easier. And yeah, we have basically our customers are companies that really care about their employees, like and yeah, that's what they do that for. So for example, one of the features here is like, I can see my calendar for tomorrow, what's in my calendar, and I can see that I have a meeting with this person at 9 a.m., which means I need to go to bed almost right now. And it tells me some things about that person so that I can have like a more productive meeting with them. Well, all right, guys. I appreciate everybody that jumped in the live stream, because it was cool. It was literally just me trying to set it up for the first time, not talking to anyone, not having a topic to speak about. I was literally just trying to set it up, and then people jumped in and they were trying to help me debug it, and they were kind of going through the frustrations of me with it not working. But I was finally able to get it up. I was able to stream on Twitch, and I was able to stream on YouTube at the same time, and I got it all working. I was able to get my camera in here. I was able to get the chat here on the right side of the screen, and that shows up. So that's cool. Thank you guys for helping me out. And then then people jumped in and started asking questions and all that, and that's cool too. It was fun. It was cool. I feel like I'm liking this stuff, and I'm gonna See, this is literally what I had on the screen after a while, just so people knew what the hell I was doing, because it was just me like poking around on the computer. All right, cool. I'll see you guys later because I need to go to bed. All right. All right, mangs. I'm gonna have to go live, going on the warehouse job now. Oh, that's cool. Hope to see you stream more often. Thanks, man. Yeah, my whole goal of like setting this thing up is so that I can start doing like very basic tutorials, like not for people that are like developers, you know, that are like good developers already, just for people that are starting like from the ground up, like how to do like your first HTML type of thing, and maybe a little CSS, and then maybe a little JavaScript, things like that. And that's kind of what I plan to do, and it seems to be working. So that's cool. I probably keep doing this then. All right, guys. And then I even have different camera angles too that I set up. This is just the screen. This is me and the screen, and this is just me then, and it all works, which is dope. I'm trying to use do a flash to the music. All right, guys, have a good night. One question right before I leave is the background music and my voice. Is that a good balance? Can you hear the voice fine? Do you wish the music was more quiet? Do you wish it was louder? Do you think it's fine? Yes, I physically have to press 2 and 3 to switch the cameras, as you were able to see it here. I need to do another type of command for that. I am pretty loud. Does it sound distorted at all though? Like, does my voice sound so loud that it sounds distorted? All right, cool. Do you guys think I should turn my voice down a little bit? All right, cool. Yeah, because if I'm like loud because your volume is loud or it's like at the maximum, then that would make sense. I just don't want it to be like so loud that it's like distorted and stuff. All right, cool. And I appreciate that, because again, the whole point of me going live today was not to even like talk about any topics or anything. It was literally for me to trying to get the setup going. So I guess right before I leave, I want to make sure at least the audio is correct. Yeah, the audio is okay, no distortion. All right, cool. I guess that maybe after I'm done here, like YouTube will have it as an actual video and I can go back and review it. But I still appreciate you guys' input. I'm glad you guys found some value in it. I will now go to bed because I got a meeting at 9 a.m. as you guys said. So, all right. See you guys later. Have a good night.